Rock climbing is a sport in which the participants literally take on our most common metaphor for doing something difficult. They climb mountains. It is no easy task, nor a safe one, but the challenge is met with enthusiasm and determination. Climbers expertly scale these natural behemoths with a variety of helpful tools. Anchors like cams and skyhooks secure the climber to the rock in case they fall, but sometimes these are not good enough for all routes. This is the guillotine flake on the Chief, and this is Matt Mataloni. To traverse the flake safely by conventional means, Matt would have to drill bolts into the face of the Chief. This practice is often dismissed by the climbing community for its unsportsmanlike nature, and the damage it causes to the rock. So Matt decided to build his own anchoring device, the Anticam. He designed it, built it, tested it, and used it with resounding success. The device clamps onto the outer surfaces of the flake, providing a safe way to climb across. But Matt's design was unrefined and possessed certain features that were too unsafe for mass consumption. The long threaded rod protruding from the Anticam, for starters, possesses a major risk should a climber fall. Too much of a risk. That is where we come in. Tara Ackerman, Jeff Hill, Richard Livingston, Joshua Clemens, and Micah Sandusky. For our 2014 senior design project, we are redesigning the Anticam into a user-friendly device with the intention of creating a template for a mass-producible item. For the Anticam to be a device climbers will be comfortable using, certain criteria had to be met. The Anticam must be able to support a climber's fall. It must be non-permanent. It must be non-intrusive. It must be able to fit onto multiple features, and it must be usable with only one hand. With these design requirements in place, we set our specification goals and started working. The key to the Anticam, or any cam, is the cam lobe. The cam lobe's job is to grip the rock and provide enough frictional force to stop the climber from falling. The curve is mathematically derived to ensure the cam lobe stays in contact with the surface of the rock as the climber falls. All lobes have this design, and the Anticam lobes will be no exception. The arms, a slight modification of Matt's design, will provide a structure for the force of the fall to be transmitted to the cam lobes. A ratcheting mechanism will be placed within the arms to provide a way for the climber to secure the Anticam to the wall and remove it when necessary. The design is in place, and now it is time for manufacturing. The arms are milled from aluminum, while the ratchet comes from a reversible ratcheting end wrench. The cams were donated by Wild Country Climbing Equipment, and a hex bolt was placed in the arms to put the whole thing together. Now let's look at our prototype and check some of our specifications. The prototype has no sharp points and no protrusions over 6 inches, satisfying our specifications for the intrusive requirement. The device employs the cam lobes, satisfying the requirement for it to be removable. The arms open to a 6-inch width and a depth of 4 inches, meeting the specifications for it to be applicable to a variety of rock features. We do not yet know if it can be used with one hand, or if it can support the fall of a climber. For that, we need to perform some tests. The one-hand operation will be conducted with a custom-built presentation stand. We will attempt to place and remove the Anticam from the stand with a simple pass-fail criteria. For our last test, we will have to get a little more advanced. The Anticam will be placed in this tensile tester, a machine designed to test the limits of materials and fatigue. The Anticam will be placed in the tensile tester and pulled on with a force up to 5,000 newtons. If it survives the test, the Anticam will have passed its final specification and requirement. From one man's idea to a mechanical engineering senior design project, the Anticam has gone through quite a journey. The concept has received positive and negative attention from both climbing equipment companies and actual climbers. Hopefully one day the Anticam, or Exocam as we have come to fondly call it, will be a commonly spoken of tool for the climbing community.